CTV News with Ricardo Veneza.
We'll fight against it, period.
Ottawa ready to fight back against a tariff on copper. Now it has a new problem and a new number with which to contend. Good evening. Another day and another late evening decision from the U.S. president. Donald Trump announced tonight he's adding a 35% tariff on all Canadian goods beginning August 1st. Trump posted a letter for Prime Minister Mark Carney to the social media platform he owns, again expressing concern over the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. from Canada. He claims the problem hasn't been addressed. Ottawa has beefed up border security and appointed a fentanyl czar to reduce the already less than 1% of fentanyl seized in the U.S. from the north. Trump says the new tariff will apply to all Canadian imports separate from existing levies on autos, steel, and aluminum. The president has threatened to escalate the tariffs should Canada retaliate. Now, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister is in Malaysia looking to secure greater trade access with 10 Asian countries and shared optimism at the prospects of a deal with the U.S. ahead of Trump's abrupt announcement tonight.
This is an effort that we are putting all our weight behind. I will say that we are still hopeful that an agreement can be achieved indeed.
Now, one area Ottawa is targeting support is in the electric vehicle sector. CTV News has learned EVs are in for a boost after a rebate program was abruptly stopped in January when it was apparently overwhelmed by Tesla claims. Here's CTV's Adrian Gobriel.
A controversy that began following an electric sales weekend.
This has been a 6-month hardship for small independent dealerships across the country that have been owed $11 million by Transport Canada.
On Friday, January 10th, car dealerships across the country received this email from Transport Canada saying in part, due to the high uptake, the EV rebate program will be paused in a few weeks. That weekend, a handful of Tesla locations across Canada reported the sale of 8,600 vehicles, amounting to $43 million in taxpayer-funded rebates. By that Monday, the federal program was closed.
Dealers paid out money to customers with the commitment to the Government of Canada that the dealers would then be reimbursed.
CTV News has spoken with some of the 200 independent dealers across the country who are out of pocket a combined $11 million, some asking that we hide their identity to protect their business.
In my case, we're talking over $400,000 loss. Huge impact.
Following a months-long investigation,
Can't say anything.
You can't say anything at all?
CTV News has now learned that Transport Canada will allow all car dealers, including Tesla, to submit any historical rebates that were paid out to customers before the program was abruptly closed in January, sending out this email informing dealerships of a webinar this coming Friday and Tuesday outlining an important update. Transport Canada has also told CTV News they're looking at starting a new program, saying in an email that they're looking at ways to reintroduce a purchase incentive worth up to $5,000 that supports Canadian workers, strengthens our domestic supply chains, and reflects the times we're in.
I think we're going to see a renewed rebate program, and it's going to have some filters there that say the qualifying vehicles either are made in Canada or have substantial content from Canada. There isn't one Tesla production plant in Canada.
Canada's Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association is also calling on Ottawa to scrap the GST on all made-in-Canada vehicles, not just offer incentives for EVs. That's something the Conservatives campaigned on during the last federal election. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Now, as the Carney government promises more defense spending in a turn from the U.S. to Europe, the public sector could be in for a serious scale back. The Prime Minister wants his ministers to begin with a 7.5% spending cut in their respective ministries. As CTV's Abigail Beeman reports, that won't come without consequences.
I have a simple rule: spend less, invest more.
A new promotional video from the Prime Minister addressing what everyone in Ottawa is talking about, the call for big savings.
I will balance our operational budget in 3 years. We'll spend what we need to with the money we already have.
But neither Mark Carney nor his ministers are talking specifics about potential chopping block targets, with a new goal to save $25 billion annually within the next 3 years.
I'm pretty thorough, and I do my homework, and I'm going to do that before I have this type of conversation.
That $25 billion is a very large number.
The president of the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada wants to know more, worried about the possibility of cuts to jobs in Canada's meteorological service, warning of serious weather, for example, or food inspectors warning about food safety.
I'm really concerned that, it's not going to be just looking to find people through attrition. It's really going to cut deeply, and I think it really truly will affect service to Canadians.
So net, the actual number of public servants might actually stay the same.
Sahir Khan of the Institute of Fiscal Studies and Democracy does not expect immediate mass layoffs or impacts to services. He says it's more about reallocation to the new government's new priorities.
You're going to see public servants kind of have to go where the money is. So if your area is kind of getting de-emphasized in defense, RCMP, other areas, CBSA are getting emphasized, the money and the jobs are going to go there.
The call to Cabinet to find savings only went out this week with an end-of-summer deadline. We'll have to wait until the fall budget to get some serious specifics. And even then, this budget may not tell the full story. It's likely to be a multi-year exercise. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to a serious crash on Manning Road in Tecumseh this evening. Provincial police say a driver had to be extricated after their car crashed into a ditch. They were taken to hospital with serious injuries. Manning Road remained closed between County Road 22 and Baseline Road into this evening, but has since reopened tonight. Investigators say no other vehicles were involved in that crash. Windsor Fire reports one person was seriously injured, suffering second and third degree burns in a house fire this afternoon on Dougal Avenue outside of the city core. Officials say a kitchen fire caused an estimated $80,000 in damage. There's no word of any pending charges as a result. An American man serving a life sentence for killing a Windsor mother has been denied an appeal. Detroiter Jitesh Bogal was 31 years old in December 2022 when he was convicted by a Windsor jury of first-degree murder. On June 10, 2018, he killed 31-year-old Autumn Taggart in her University Avenue apartment by suffocating her. Bogal didn't know Taggart when he scaled up the wall and let himself into her home. Her son was there at the time. Bogal testified at the 7-week trial to doing cocaine in the city after partying with friends in Detroit. His appellate lawyer argued the judge did not let the jury consider a defense of extreme intoxication and that the judge and Crown Counsel improperly instructed the jury about expert evidence on how long it would take for a person to be suffocated to death. The Court of Appeal dismissed the arguments this year, in part because Bogal's lawyer at trial did not object to the jury instruction from the judge, nor did they object to the Crown's closing arguments back in 2022. Bogal is now eligible to apply for parole in 2046. Well, a suspended Windsor police officer on trial for alleged sexual assault took the stand in his own defense today. Ken Price is accused of 4 counts of sexual assaults of a woman on the police auxiliary between 2011 and 2015. Today, Price told court none of the alleged incidents happened, saying he knew of the woman but little else about her. Price denied he ever treated the complainant inappropriately in training exercises in which he's accused of groping, humping, and forcing unwanted touching. Closing arguments are expected to be heard in court tomorrow. QP Local 82 says it's worried what the City of Windsor's relieving of 38 seasonal workers last week will mean for city arenas, community centres and outdoor rinks. Union President Rob Collodi says the workers made about $19.50 an hour and were often responsible for cleaning and maintaining city facilities. He says there are now 8 full-time staff left to manage that load, and the residents are already seeing the impacts.
The facilities just are not as clean as they were. People are paying money to rent the facilities. I had a caretaker yesterday asking me, I've been given a task for the weekend on a particular day, and there's no way possible that I can get this done. What happens to me? Now they're in fear that they potentially could be disciplined, and obviously that's not the case. We also have the outdoor arenas that this group work in. So with a new outdoor arena set to open this year, I don't know what the impacts are of that and who's going to run them.
In Leamington, the municipality is moving forward with a pricey plan meant to help keep a species at risk from flying closer to endangered territory. But as our Chris Campbell tells us, they're footing the bill against their will.
The chimney on the former Leamington District Secondary School has been identified as an active nesting and roosting site for chimney swifts, a species protected under both provincial and federal law. The town wants to redevelop the property for housing, but can't until a new habitat for the birds is built.
When you're weighing the importance of creating habitat for migratory birds or housing individuals who need a place over a roof over their heads, in my estimation, human housing is more important.
The town capped the chimney in April ahead of nesting season after getting an emergency permit from Environment and Climate Change Canada. Now, Leamington must construct 3 new habitat towers, including one that matches the original chimney's height and interior space. The project, including a 17-meter main tower, benches, native plants, and educational signs, is expected to cost upwards of $640,000.
You could build a pretty nice home. You could house some people who are facing housing precariousness and with an expenditure like that. And here we are building a place for birds.
How many people do we have that are endangered sleeping on the streets that need housing, and we can't get that done?
Council members reluctantly approved the plan Tuesday night, pointing out they're not against conservation, but they're concerned about priorities.
I just can't see spending 2% tax increase on this, so I'm not going to be in favor of it, but we have to do it.
We have to do it. We're plugging our noses before we do it.
According to Ontario's Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, the Chimney Swift has been listed as threatened in the province since 2009 and is not endangered, but is likely to become endangered if steps are not taken to address factors threatening to lead to its extinction or extirpation. According to town administration, the swift habitat must be built by the end of this year to avoid fines of up to $1 million and to move forward with demolishing the old school.
That's a lot of money just to preserve the birds.
I think it is a waste of money for a bunch of birds.
Some folks in town are chirped about the price tag and priorities.
That's crazy to spend my money on that for birds. Come on. It's better to spend it on the homeless, at least help somebody out. Somebody or something, anything.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
A major multi-million-dollar project in Lasalle promises to be its biggest commercial endeavor ever. And our Bob Belichico was there for the groundbreaking today.
So excited to finally be the day we're breaking ground, and hopefully in less than a year we will be cutting a ribbon.
Lasalle Mayor Crystal Malash and members of council were beaming with excitement at the official groundbreaking ceremony for the town's largest ever commercial project.
We're seeing so many different things coming to the site. There's a possibility of the hotel, there's a possibility of a gas bar, there's grocery stores, there's banking, there's shoppers, there's restaurants, you name it. It'll all be here.
The Demore Group and Petretta Construction have partnered on the $200 million commercial development near the Windsor Crossing Outlet Mall. Work will be spaced out over 2 phases.
You're going to see a couple of things hopefully open before the end of the year, but the majority of the things here in, I'll call it Phase 1A, will be open in spring of next year.
When the Shops at Heritage phase is complete, Demore says this will be the crown jewel of the 280-acre development. Now, the 24-acre site that I'm standing on right now will house over 250,000 square feet of commercial and hospitality space and create over 400 jobs. And that's not to mention the hundreds of jobs already created to get this vision off the ground.
It truly is the type of project that I think transforms a community.
The town's first McDonald's is set to be an early addition, with Food Basics, Dollarama, Taco Bell, Pet Value, and Shoppers Drug Mart also committing to the development, and others waiting in the wings.
We just are going through that Howard Bouffard secondary plan where we're going to see the town grow by another 20,000+ people, and this location is very close to where that development will be, so that'll provide those residents with groceries and food options closer to home.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
After the break, CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joins us to talk about how things are heating up in the region heading into the weekend.
Doug Ford is using his own underfunding to justify a political power grab.
Still ahead, the pushback to the province's takeover of 4 public school boards. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joining us now for a check of the forecast. Julie, warm but still, I think, fairly comfortable in Windsor today, hoping that trend continues into tomorrow.
Yeah, the comfort level's deteriorating a bit as that humidity really starts to build in. So noticing a change in the coming days. It was hot this afternoon across Essex County. If you were outdoors for an extended period of time, especially if you were in the sunshine, you would have felt that temperature climbing. 30 degrees are high, above normal, 19 degrees are low. Overnight conditions, nice, 20 to 22 degrees. Definitely, though, some warmth holding through the overnight. So coming in above normal once again for the overnight lows. Now, we have had some instability around. This is the type of weather where we see pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and that trend continues in the forecast. Now, the probabilities will rise as we head into the weekend as a weather system approaches from the west. But as you can see out there this evening and overnight, we're not expecting any active weather. Skies will be mainly clear. And then as we head into the day tomorrow, possibility of a pop-up shower once again. Can't rule out a thunderstorm. It's that tropical air mass feel. Anytime you get an air mass that's this hot and humid, doesn't take much to trigger thunderstorms. So this is as we head into a Friday afternoon, Friday evening. And then on Saturday, I will be tracking a weather system coming in. Now, it looks like this area of rainfall that develops overnight into Saturday morning will really start to fizzle out, and then we'll bring in the chance for rainfall by Saturday evening. But we could squeak out a shower first thing Saturday morning before getting back into a mix of sun and cloud. I feel like you'll be dodging the rainfall in the extended forecast. Again, it's a summertime forecast. We get into some hot, humid weather, and then we get into some storm action. So your forecast for your Friday, 31, it will feel like the upper 30s. The winds out of the south will increase as we head through the day. And then on Saturday, sunshine. By the afternoon, the clouds will thicken and then the chance for rain. Now, this is a weak front that's going to come in, so we do have the opportunity for some rain Saturday night into Sunday. And Saturday morning, as I mentioned, tricky forecast, so watching that as well. Sunday, 60% chance of rain showers, but 30 to 31, so that indicates a lot of dry time. In order to get to 31 degrees, you need a lot of sunshine. So we will see an extended period of sun, but also the chance for a few showers popping up. Sunshine for your forecast Monday, looking beautiful, 30, 31. Now, if daytime highs 31 to 32, that will be a heat wave for us early next week. 32 degrees with the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms a week out. So we're in for it every day over the next 7, forecast to be close to 30 degrees and above, with humidex feeling like the mid to upper 30s. So Ricardo, we're definitely in for some intense summer heat as we move into next week.
Julie, thank you. Well, let's turn to the markets where base metals helped Canada's main stock index climb higher. You can see there 110 points to the good for the TSX. Now, the markets haven't had a chance to react to the latest tariff announcement from Donald Trump. You can see the Dow jumping 192, the NASDAQ up 19. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The Canadian dollar also up today to rest at 73.08 cents U.S. Gold up almost $5 an ounce, while oil drops $1.81 a barrel.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles is calling out and joining the pushback to the Ford government's moves to take over 4 public school boards in the province. As CTV's Beth McDonnell reports, critics say the province needs to look in the mirror when it comes to finances and education.
Matthias D. Dovidas is an elected TDSB school trustee. Yet go online and check his webpage, you'll see this banner which says the power of trustees now falls under the Minister of Education. His job no longer defined.
Currently, we're being told not to respond directly to any parents and to forward them to a central email.
actually need.
Today, he joined Ontario's leader of the opposition, school union leaders and parents in calling for investments to education over cuts. There is some fear this could be a step to eliminating school trustees, which advocates here say are vital to navigate a large school system.
Despite the fact that the TDSB balanced its budget and that the investigation found no evidence of financial mismanagement, the Ford government continues to place the blame on trustees rather than where it belongs, squarely on themselves.
At the end of June, the education minister announced he was taking control of 4 school boards, including the Toronto District School Board, the Toronto Catholic District School Board, and Dufferin-Peel Catholic District School Board, and appointed supervisors at each. Writing in a statement to CTV News, "We are restoring accountability in Ontario's education system and putting all trustees on notice. Focus on your mandate or step aside." The NDP and Liberals have made their choice to defend trustees who abuse public funds and fail students. They protect broken boards and oppose accountability. While they fight to support out-of-touch school board trustees, we will fight for students, parents, and teachers. The NDP blames the Conservatives for not investing enough in schools, saying instead, since 2018, funding per student in Ontario has decreased by $1,500.
Doug Ford is using his own underfunding to justify a political power grab. And now local schools are being run by inexperienced political insiders.
I see parents being pushed to the sidelines in this. Staff are stretched beyond their capacity. And it's our children who are falling through the cracks.
The minister says he's focused on listening to parents and teachers about setting students up for success and less concerned about the opinions of trustees that have failed in putting students first. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
Well, Kind Minds and Specialized Bikes are helping to get kids riding in Windsor this summer. Our Stephanie Mazzotti was there for a cycling camp dedicated to changing lives.
I'm learning how to ride a bike.
10-year-old Zayn Haliji was diagnosed with high-functioning autism at 18 months old.
I was kind of struggling, but I got the hang of it.
Thanks to these specialty bikes, he's working on gaining his independence at the I Can Bike camp by the charity Kind Minds.
So the kids start on these trainers. They're rainbow trainers, so they use this bevel in the back, so it gives them the feel of a two-wheel bike in the back. And psychologically in the front, they see a two-wheel bike as.
Throughout the 5-day camp, that bevel will get smaller.
So they have a little bit more wobble to them as they go. And as they start to get faster on those and steering better, then they'll move on to one of the two-wheel bikes with just a handle on it here.
Also supporting them, volunteers like Lily Gilbert.
You make such a personal connection with them. I remember some kids from the last time I volunteered, even still to this day, and I still think about them because you make such a connection with them.
Dedicating time that will change these kids' lives.
Well, so all of our riders actually have an intellectual or a minor physical disability, and so for them, sometimes they may never be able to drive a car when they get older, and so this may be their only form of independent transportation.
It's so fun. I can finally go bike with my friends.
The most important thing Zayn is taking home.
You always have to wear a helmet so you don't split your head open.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
Pure Country 89, Windsor's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
Windsor's fire chief says they're done with warnings and will start issuing fines for unpermitted backyard fires. Open burns are banned in the city, and penalties start at $570 per hour to cover responding firefighters, plus fees and taxes. Chief Jamie Waffle says crews have responded to 159 open burns already so far this year.
Cooking devices only, natural gas, propane appliances, things like that, those are permitted. No open burning, no backyard fire pits anymore, no wood, no debris, no grass, no leaves, right? That is not permitted.
Okay, Julie is back with a wrap of her 7-day forecast. Julie, as you mentioned, we're tracking that heat, humidity, and maybe some rain moving into the region.
Yeah, this time of year, that's par for the course in terms of daytime heating. We get thunderstorms, especially if we have a weak weather system coming in. Anything at all can trigger these storms, especially when you have an air mass that's this hot and humid. That also leads to heavy downpours and gusty winds. So that's what we'll be looking at if we get under one of these thunderstorms. Tomorrow looks relatively calm. The afternoon, there is a 30% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm, and then heading into a Saturday evening. I did show you a little bit of light rainfall that's possible Saturday morning, but there'll be a lot of dry time. This forecast features very hot and humid conditions. Look at the next 7 days, 30 to 32, and feeling like the upper 30s, low 40s. We're in it. We're right into the heat of the summer season. Conditions across our region, hot, humid, with lots of sunshine and a few scattered showers with the risk of thunderstorms in between. Ricardo, back to you.
Okay, Julie, thank you. Yeah, back into the sauna we go. Well, finally for us tonight, CTV's Alexandra Hollick shows us how a southwestern Ontario musician is showing his Canadian pride.
I'm packing my bags, taking these white legs, traveling Canadian land.
Kevin Westfall is one proud Canuck.
I'm really proud to be from Kitchener. I'm proud to be from Ontario. And I'm a real proud Canadian.
The musician puts his pride on display through his music, and his latest song, Canadian Land, is no exception.
I had this one written and recorded back a few years back when our dollar went really low, and I wrote it, and I never did anything with it.
But recent trade tensions between Canada and the U.S. inspired Westfall to take a stand.
I thought, you know what, I'm going to take that song. Now's the time to do a video and get it out there.
We wanted to make it really Canadiana, and I mean, the whole song is based on Canadians traveling this summer or in the winter and being tourists in Canada.
I can't afford to roam too far from home with the dollar down real low.
The upbeat track takes aim at affordability and a low exchange rate.
I won't lose $40 on 100, not with my holiday plan.
Encouraging listeners to localize their summer travel.
And I'll see the pretty of every town and city as I tour Ontario.
I could never understand why anybody would want to go anywhere else for a vacation.
Canadians are looking to travel at home because they are reconsidering going to other locations because of the trade dispute.
Ontario's Tourism Industry Association says its members have seen an increase in local bookings and business.
Canadians and Ontarians are looking to spend differently, and they're looking to support local.
While Westfall says he's been known to make playful tunes, he's serious about his message.
We have to keep this the best place in the world to live, and I think we will.
I'll be packing my bags, taking these white legs and traveling Canadian land.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
Okay, a bit of patriotic twang to end our newscast. That is our time this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We will see you again tomorrow at 6. Until then, I'm Ricardo, and for everyone here at CTV on both sides of the camera, have a great night.